Okay. So we are live. Meeting is not streaming live on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So my humble obeisance to all the assembled devotees. So we welcome you today for today's Throwback Thursday program. And today we have with us three devotees, basically a devotee family. I would like to introduce them. And so we have with us His Grace Jaga Jiva Jagannath Prabhuji and his good wife, Her Grace Revathi Gopi Mataji, and their daughter Mahasundari Madhavi Mataji. So it's our great fortune that we have very devotional, very family where all the family members are devotees, and not just for a few years, but they are practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 30 years. So we are blessed to have association of Prabhuji Mataji and their daughter Mataji. So yeah, and they are doing their services mainly in Damodardesh for more than uh, 25 years plus. So and they both Prabhuji and Mataji, and they have rendered services. Uh, Devotees can be on mute. Hari Bol. Yeah. So they have rendered many services. For example, Prabhuji was involved in preaching in multiple languages like Telugu, English, Hindi, and Prabhuji is also conducting courses like IDC and Vaishanava Sadachar. Mataji is involved in children classes and other services. So yeah. So we would like to welcome all of them by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We, as a family, we thank all of you for first joining the session and also giving us an opportunity to glorify Guru Maharaj. It's been a very, we consider it as a very great honor to be in front of all of you to do this humble service. So, as I mentioned to Akshay Gaur Sundar Prabhu before, we don't have very direct, intimate service that we could render to Guru Maharaj till now, but we had the good opportunities to meet him, to enjoy and remember some of the pastimes with Guru Maharaj, particularly pre 2008 scenarios. So today, in my short session, I'll try to talk about a few things, realizations about glorification, how it helps us in our lives, and then I will share few things of interesting things of when we met Guru Maharaj in the very beginning days of our life. So, because those are the moments of life that you cherish now. In those days, they may be just a passing moment of our life, right? Our lives. But later, when you look back at your life, you realize that how important they were and what significance it had in your life. So that I will share, and then, if time permits, I'll also speak a little bit about the growing importance of Vani service in view of the passing time, and because the availability of Guru Maharaj for us to bless us in the physical form, because there are a lot of health restrictions that he has got, and we also have to respect it. And we have to, as we are praying for his complete rebouncing back into normal health, still we'll have a ring of fence of protection layer around him. So in that context, how do we align ourselves in service of Guru Maharaj? We'll try to come. Hare Krishna. So I'll start with glorification because this is a topic that I've been meditating on, working on for several years. So normally it's very important for us to glorify, right? So today's program is also about remembering and glorifying our Guru Maharaj. So glorification is a very intrinsic part of our devotional service. And by glorifying it, glorifying someone who is worthy, who is object of our worship, is very important. So that's why in Srimad Bhagavatam also, almost every canto, we have certain glorifications or not, glorifications of either devotees or devotees of the devotees or Lord Himself on to the devotees. Various combinations of glorifications come and in various situations. Some glorification may be during very difficult situations. Some glorifications are in very joyous situations. So what it means is whether situation is joyful or situation is a bit remorse or a very grave situation, we glorify. Glorify, chanting, and remember is part of our life, right? So even in our daily moments of life, when we get up in the morning and when we chant our Guru Pranam mantra, is Guru Pranam mantra starts with the glorification of our Guru Maharaj, right? That he is very dear to the Lord Krishna. He's the one who is giving the Gavara Katha to so many people. He's doing the Nagara Grama Tarine. He's uplifting the people throughout the world and so on and so forth. Why do we glorify? Because we know that that personality or the object of worship is very great. They're worthy of glorification. And particularly, that glorification becomes very intense and very sweet and very memorable if we have a tangible, a known connection with that personality, right? With Krishna, we have a connection, but that with connection with Krishna is through Guru and Guru Parampara. But with Guru, that connection is more intimate, right? Guru is in the form of a representative of Krishna. He's taken the responsibility on himself to take us back to Krishna. And he's giving us all the spiritual nourishments directly or indirectly, either through giving opportunity to serve him or through his body, right? So glorification just does not end by we remembering their greatness. In Nama Rupa, Guna Leela, we call it when we glorify the Lord, right? Yes, that's a very important part of it. We remember their greatness, we remember their great qualities. That's why we are assembled here, right? To remember the greatness of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj or Guru Maharaj. So by remembering someone in the mood of glorifying, in the mood of glorification, is one important aspect of that is that it makes us remember who we are and who is the object of worship. Just like the way when we talk about in the spiritual realm, we talk about Abhidaya Sambandha Prayojana, right? It's a very important part of the glorification is while we are glorifying, we consciously remember who we are and whom we are glorifying. Today we are glorifying our Param Puja His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. That means we are very consciously making ourselves, remembering ourselves that we are his disciples, we are his servants. And he is the one who is in front of us in our minds as a representative of the God, a worshipable Lord, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned. So when our intensity of this relationship, our intensity of this conscious glorification increases in its maturity, then the process to nourish that relationship also parallelly increases. So automatically the quality of our service, the quality of our ability to listen to the instructions of our Guru Maharaj or his servants, and the our anxiety or our enthusiasm to serve them increases. So that is the second effect of glorification automatically happens if we sincerely glorify the object of our worship. Here in this case, it is our Guru Maharaj. So when this happens, when our enthusiasm to nourish, when our anxiety to nourish that relationship, to remember that relationship, and tell about that relationship with others, to share, then automatically we see the benefits of those relationships. Like we tend to get somehow indirectly, directly an empowerment to carry out his instructions, to be as his servants or as his servants of his servants, and remembering what he has to do, what he has committed to Srila Prabhupada, in what way we can do whatever little bit to him increases. So this is the very important part of glorification. Glorification should not just stop at praising somebody. The why these glorifications are put in our scriptures is that they should not stop just by glorifying them, by praising their greatness, but by doing so, if we remember who we are and what is our relationship, and also remembering on what is that process that helps us to nurture and increase the effectiveness of that relationship, with that we'll get good results in our spiritual progress. This is progress. This is what is my realization on the glorification. So that's the reason why whenever the topic, the word of glorification comes, I tend to pause a bit and think, who am I glorifying? Why am I glorifying? What is my relationship? What is going to come out of it, right? So that's the reason why in Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole Bhagavatam, every canto has got some glorification or other. And people who have studied the Bhagavatam and analyzed the Bhagavatam, they concluded that there are more than 90 plus glorifications throughout Bhagavatam. And in the almost till the end of Bhagavatam, they keep coming. And even when Lord Brahma and others, when they come to Krishna in the 11th canto, we get it. They inform Krishna that, time has come that you have to stop your leelas, whatever you have to do, you have to do. So you think of going back to your Dhamma. This is what a kind of a message that Brahma comes, right? Even at that point in time, they're glorified. So glorifying is a very important part of that. So today we are here to glorify and remember many pastimes of Guru Maharaj. So having said that, I will take you through a few pastimes that I today Sunday remembered when I was thinking of what to talk and how to glorify Guru Maharaj. Sometimes when we glorify, when we remember our Guru Maharaj, we may not know what kind of a benefit that is going to give us, right? So I go back to early mid 90s, not even mid 90s, about 1993, 1994. That's the time when we first got in touch with Iskcon, when we were in Doha, that's now called Krishna Kathadesh. So Doha, Krishna Kathadesh, I think, is celebrating the 30 years of uh, evolution this year. So they asked me to write some essay or something like that on what were my initial impressions in those days, because we were one of the early congregational members of that yatra. So as a part of that essay, whatever I have written, I will just quite quickly narrate. So when we were very, very new, we were attending programs, and our Siksha Guru is Vaikuntapati Prabhu, who came to Doha from Muscat, Uttar Pradesh. So he used to tell, while he was talking during Bhagavad Gita class or during conversation, he used to keep on mentioning about a person called Acharya Pad, Acharya Pad. And we were not able to understand. In those days, Guru Maharaj was more frequently called as Acharya Pad. And he used to tell that he's an American, he does this, he's so popular around the world and things like that. But we were wondering why this person, is glorifying so much about another personality, whom we don't know also. So those were the first impressions of a guru to me. And then Bahrain was very nearby state to Qatar. So Vaikuntapati Prabhu used to go to Bahrain when Guru Maharaj used to come there. So a couple of times he went there, and whenever he used to go to Bahrain to meet Guru Maharaj and come back, I used to see a very strange glow or enthusiasm in his face. I was wondering what is happening to this personality. Why is he become so excited and things like that? But I was not aware anything about Guru and Guru's worship at that point in time. I was very skeptical. So one day, uh, here the importance, I'm moving from glorification to the blessings. One day, once he went to Bahrain, and then he came back, and we were having a program in the evening, and he gave an orange to me. So I distinctly remember, for me, it was just an orange. So I just put it in my pocket, thinking that I'll go home and eat it. Then he said, no, this is Acharya Pad, Guru Maharaj gave in Bahrain. I was still thinking, so what? So what's the big deal of this? I didn't understand his intention. So he wanted to specifically tell me that it was not a normal orange. It came directly from the hands of his guru, and it is directly coming to me. So we don't know, right? We don't know. We were totally in darkness. We don't know the glory of that person is given. But believe it or not, I went home and I took that orange, and within few months, I could meet His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So it's a very, very strange thing. I see it as a very interesting connection that I receiving it, I eating it, and then 2 months later, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj himself came to Doha for a very short visit. It was a very small visit. We were not still knowing him full, so we could spend a lot of time with him in a very informal manner. And if I recollect those days, it used to be a very, very funny uh, incidents that happened. But later, a year or two later, he came. At that time, by the time we could understand the importance of Guru, the importance of Jayapataka Maharaj, and that time we received in a very different manner. In those days, we were very, very fortunate that we could get a lot of time from him. So when he came, by the time he came, I had read few books. So I was very inquisitive. And so I had a lot of doubts on Krishna, Vishnu was my main topic of total confusion in those days. So I prepared a 21 questions book, kind of a paper, and different questions. And I also put why I'm asking this question. So there was a element of my challenging him was there unknowingly, that I must admit now. Then I said, when he's coming this time, we'll have time and I'll ask him all this question. So lucky enough that I got that opportunity. Guru Maharaj had just taken lunch and there was a time between the next program. So I could get in, and then I placed my whole bunch of papers to him. And I was thinking that he would say, wow, and this, oh, you are that. But Maharaj just very casually, quickly read those things in a few pages, within few minutes, probably even less than few minutes. And then he put the paper down. So I was a bit disappointed. And then there was a bit of a silence. Then he basically picked up few questions from there and answered. And then he put the thing back on the table. And then he said, you are a Pandit. You should read. So it was a very interesting blessing. But like in the olden days, if any of you have seen Guru Maharaj before 2028, 2008, you know that he has got a very famous way to smile. He'll clench his teeth like this, his cheeks go up, and he smiles. And in that smile, there was a very clear message to me. Hey, hey boy, you be on the ground. Don't try to challenge people or don't try to come to somebody with a skeptical manner. Your doubts will be answered if you keep reading it. So I could, in that smile, in that little bit, funny, sarcastic smile that he gave was my first lesson that I learned from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. And then that instruction that he wanted me to read continued, and it still continues. So whenever I read something and whenever I explain something to somebody, if somebody says that it's good, I always remember this incident and this very an instruction, a blessing with a kind of a small chastisement that I received from Guru Maharaj. In that visit, I'll show a picture now. In that visit, we were also very fortunate to associate with Guru Maharaj, and there was a Bengali ashram program used to be there. Bengalis were there, and they were very, very nice devotees. So they were very nice devotees, and our yatra leader wanted to take Guru Maharaj there. They were not fully Iskcon, but definitely they were Bangladeshi devotees doing very nice prayers. So I'll tell you what happened in that visit. You are able to see the picture?
We are currently seeing your, I think this is some email that is opened up currently. Visits
Now?
of. Yes.
Yeah. So this is our first outdoor event of Guru Maharaj. You are able to see the picture. I'll make it big.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. So you can see from the background that there's an ashram of Bengali devotees, and they're like anything kind of something or anything, any kind of worship that you can do. But what important, this was a photo of Guru Maharaj while he was going to the airport. So he went there and he just blessed them for a few seconds, few minutes. That's it. On the right side, you see Vaikuntapati Prabhu also. So after that, the whole thing, just few visits and, saying Hare Krishna and meeting those Bengali devotees, speaking to them in Bengali, and that's it. The whole environment and I know they had so much of Krishna bhakti within them, which was very concealed. And there is somebody who comes and says Hare Krishna and blesses, and whole floodgates open. And that center became very popular later. Of course, due to some other reasons, much later, it has to be closed down because of the rules and regulation. But that inspired their enthusiasm and energy, inspired so many people, and the congregation started becoming bigger. Even though we were not praying there, but we were praying at some other place. So this is one very interesting thing that I remembered, and I want to recollect that, the greatness of personalities, greatness of great devotees coming and, showering blessings has huge impact. And now then I could relate what was there in that orange that I ate. when Vaikuntapati Prabhu gave a few months before. So from then onwards, I really tend to appreciate the importance of Guru and great devotees, glorifying them and remembering them, and their blessings come in different forms in our life. So this is one pastime, and also we were also lucky in many times. I would say in those good olden days, I would call it, where we had a lot of association. I'll also share one more photograph of which we very cherish a lot. Is that you're able to see? And this is rare pictures.
You are
Okay.
you are not sharing screen currently, Prabhuji.
Okay. I just wanted to share because these are the photo, these kind of things. In those days, of course, Dubai had still had a lot of restrictions. Guru Maharaj was not able to travel. I mean, move between the houses in his dress that he wanted to probably wear. But this photo was taken in 1999. So in those days, yeah, definitely we used to have association instructions and so on and so forth. So we relish it, we remember it, we glorify them, and through that glorification, we tend to keep up our spirit of continuing our service. So another important thing that I want to share as the next part of my thing in like next 5 minutes. So last 10 years, I've been kind of meditating on one particular aspect of the importance of Vani Seva, because time is moving ahead and situation of Guru Maharaj's health also is kind of going up and down, up and down. Last Saturday, we have seen how Mahavara Prabhu has very, 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 very graphically explained what all is happening. So that was giving me a thinking that how do I get to understand and be able to serve Guru Maharaj through Vani thing. Vani, of course, we Vani service, we all know that we have to listen to the instructions of the Guru Maharaj. We have to read his books. We have to talk about his books. That's all is very good. We have to continue to do that. So I was thinking, is there any other powerful mechanism which can help me, which can propel me to make me understand more about Vani service? So then one day, while I was trying to share my understanding about one shloka, has revealed a different perspective in my life, which I want to continue to cherish. So this is the shloka that I was reading on Bhagavad Gita 240, where Krishna is telling Arjuna, in this endeavor, there is no loss of diminution, but fear goes. So while in the explanation, we come to know that Krishna is telling Arjuna that don't worry, you continue to do what I want to do. In this endeavor means there Krishna is telling Arjuna that you do fight for fighting's sake. Don't bother anything because I'm telling you, you do it. And then he's also telling Arjuna that even if you do it, even if you don't do full, if you can't complete it, also no problem. Unlike in a material endeavor, if you can't complete a material endeavor, results will not be there, right? Even if you do mistakenly, also it's good enough. Don't worry. There's no fear. You'll be out of fear. So when I was reading this instruction, then of course, there it is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Who is Arjuna? Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 2.7, we know that he has accepted Krishna as his guru. And he has asked Krishna to tell him what is most most beneficial to him in a very clear manner. Arjuna was very emphatic about it. So there is a relationship between guru and a disciple. So I said, fine. I read this from that context of Bhagavad Gita in the Kurukshetra war. Why can't I read this instruction as if His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, my Guru Maharaj, is telling me? When that thought came, it was a shock kind of a thing for me. So then I tried to research of what is this endeavor which Guru Maharaj is telling me to do and in how I should do. So when I was meditating on this, I got so many things as if it was there in me, but it got revealed. And then how I should carry. So when Krishna is telling in 8 chapter 7 shloka, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu, Ma Manusmara Idyat. And I was telling, why can't I think that Guru Maharaj is telling me this instruction? So how I can follow this instruction? If I follow this instruction in his context of service, in the context of serving him, in the context of trying to help him in fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's mission, I actually follow what Krishna is telling Arjuna. I don't have to go and cross and try to scale up to the level of where was Arjuna, where was Krishna was telling. Here is my Guru, is present. I am seeing him. I'm listening to him. I'm seeing those people who are seeing him. So much of opportunity is there. So why can't I understand the scriptures in this perspective, all those scriptural instructions as if my Guru is giving me through some form, through the purport of Srila Prabhupada, through the purport of scripture, through the purport of shloka. So this has completely changed, or it's changing my perspective of Vani. So if you feel there is any value add in this, you can also try to use it in the shlokas that you like. When you read the purport, you get into a mood and realm that Guru Maharaj is there in front of you and giving you this instruction. And then you sit and pause and say, how can I follow this? And then I am reasonably confident the whole purport will come to you in a very, very totally different realized form. So this is a small thing that I wanted to share. So Vani service is getting very, very important. Our belief in the Vani service, Vani Seva, has to become more and more strong. And even though we may get some very good opportunities to serve Guru Maharaj directly, and we hope to do that, and we want to do that, we have to do that. But we also have to start respecting the protocols, respecting the safety network that will come around Guru Maharaj to protect him, because we want him. We want him to be hale and healthy, to render services, to keep inspiring us. So with this, I conclude that glorification should not stop at just praising. It has to go further down to increase our relationship with the personality whom we glorify. And that should result in something that will help us to progress in our life. And blessings can come in different way in our lives. We have to accept it and trying to focus more on the service of Vani is very important for us in our devotional lives. With this, I conclude. Once again, thanks a lot for giving me the service. I think Mahasundari, Madhavi, that she's come. I think she wants to do that because she's at work, and we'll let her finish it, and then we can ask my wife to join. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhu?
Krishna, Pranam. Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances to all glorious Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here. I apologize. I'm calling from my office, so please bear with the non-devotional get up here. You can see the office background here, but I always consider it an opportunity to get some sangha with devotees and also glorify Guru Maharaj at any opportunity that I get. So I did not want to miss taking a few minutes out to do this. So thank you, Prabhu, from Iskcon Seshadripuram, JSS, to give us this opportunity to do so. So my name is Mahasundari Madhavi. I got initiated in June 2009 in Atlanta here, been practicing Krishna consciousness under the guidance of my parents for many years. I wanted to share two really special pastimes with Guru Maharaj that stand out to me personally, and just to show his mercy and compassion. One was way back in 2007. I was a student in Toronto. And for those of you who we know Guru Maharaj's history, he helped start Iskcon in Toronto. He got initiated in Canada, was the first temple president in Iskcon Toronto. So before his stroke, Guru Maharaj used to come to Toronto Rath Yatra every other year. Toronto Rath Yatra is one of the largest Rath Yatras outside of India, and the second largest in North America. And Guru Maharaj used to come every year. So in 2007, I was a student, 2008 actually, I was still a student in college, and Guru Maharaj had come for Rath Yatra in July. And before he came, they needed a place for him to stay. And they had asked me, is it possible for Guru Maharaj to stay with you, stay in your apartment? And I just looked and I said, I don't think it's possible because I live with my roommates. And, it's not just Guru Maharaj coming, it's a lot of devotees. And I also served in the Toronto Rath Yatra committee, which meant it was late night of service. And I just was like, I cannot do this. It just was too much of stress. And my roommates were not devotees. So asking them to vacate their rooms and figure out their accommodations for 2, 3 days, it was just like a logistical challenge. So I had told, as much, and I was not initiated then, I wasn't even aspiring then. He would put me at that time, he was just a spiritual master for my parents. So I said, nope, I don't think I can serve Guru Maharaj at this time. It's just not possible. And then, obviously there were many other god brothers and god sisters who were extremely excited that I said no, and they were able to serve Guru Maharaj. So at Rath Yatra, which it is a big festival, there's just so many people there, and Guru Maharaj spots me. Guru Maharaj spots me as I'm in the crowd, and he comes up to me and he says, "So, Madhavi, I hear you don't want to serve your parents' guru. You don't want me to stay at your house." And he has like this really serious look on his face, and my face just fell. And I'm like, Guru Maharaj, no, it wasn't that. And I started giving all of these like reasons why it didn't make practical sense. And then he just like looks at me really seriously, and then he just burst out laughing. He said, "I'm just teasing you. I know it would be difficult. Don't worry about it." And then throughout the festival, Guru Maharaj, whenever he would see me, he would check in on me, saying that, "Are you doing okay? Are you getting enough water?" And he was so concerned that the festival was extremely hot, and we were just running around like chicken without heads. And Maharaj would constantly check in, and his compassion was so much to make sure I got ample rest. This was in July 2008, and then I went to Dubai in August 2008, and Guru Maharaj was there for the Janmashtami celebrations. And even there, he asked me, he said, "Did you get proper rest after Rath Yatra?" Because it was a very intense festival. So it was just amazing to see that compassion. And I always felt that guilt. In 2008, I was my 20s, and I didn't get a chance to host, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, which would be a great honor for anybody, right, to host at your home. And I never did. So fast forward 15 years later, the similar opportunity comes again when Guru Maharaj was in Dallas last year for a treatment for his carcinoma for extended period of time. And at that time, it was in April last year, we were we had gone to see Guru Maharaj in Dallas, and the conversation just came up with Mahavara Prabhu and Sarvajamada Prabhu that it would be wonderful if Guru Maharaj came to visit us in Austin, which is 3 hours away from Dallas. And it just, it was a pipe dream. We have a very small congregation here, but not a big temple, and we don't have also the facilities. Like it's a very small, like a small number. It's not small, not very small, but definitely a small preaching center here. And I mentioned the story that how back in 15 years ago I had this amazing opportunity and I kind of just let it go. And I said, it would be really nice to actually like serve Guru Maharaj in this way. It was it was a statement that was made, and Guru's mercy is so powerful that 2 weeks later we get a call from Mahavara Prabhu saying, Guru Maharaj is thinking of going out of Dallas for some time, and Austin's only 3 hours away. It seems like a safe place that he can drive within the day. And Maharaj was in Dallas for an extended period of time. So this was the first city he went outside of Dallas, was when he came to our temple. And it was just such a surreal experience to serve Guru Maharaj at our home. Maharaj was there just for one day, 24 hours, less than 24 hours even. But it was just, you could feel this wave of spiritual energy when he came in with him and his servants who are just, again, they are also such strong beacons of energy. And my husband, my daughter, my parents were visiting at that time. I felt like we were just swept away in this wave of devotion. I heard in a class by Loknath Maharaj where he says that, our devotion service should be like us standing on a platform of Mumbai local train station. Is that whether you want it or not, you should just, when you're in the Mumbai local train station, you just get, whether you want to get on the train or not, someone's going to push you on the train. And I always like that analogy. And I felt like it was like that, whether we wanted to or not, we were just getting pushed on this train of bhakti. And it was just so amazing to see how dedicated Guru Maharaj is to serve and how committed he is to fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada. When Guru Maharaj came here, again, he was undergoing a lot of health treatment, a lot of medical treatment, and the drive from Dallas to Austin in April, which is extremely hot here in Texas at that time, it's not a pleasant drive. Even for us, it wears us out. We just did it a few days ago, so I know it's not a pleasant drive. But Guru Maharaj tolerated that, and when he came, he was extremely tired. He hadn't slept in a few days, but he was ready to go to serve the devotees and do a program for our temple in the evening. And we had told Guru Maharaj that he needed rest. It was very evident that he needed rest. He had some intense therapy earlier that day, and Mavara Prabhu and all the servants requested, Guru Maharaj, please take rest. And Guru Maharaj's question kept coming, but what about the devotees at the temple waiting for me? And we had to convince Guru Maharaj, no, Guru Maharaj, they'll be fine, please take rest. And then the next day morning, he woke up, he had a good night of rest, he was really refreshed, and they were heading out. And then Mahavara Prabhu shared that, we may not be able to do a big program at the temple. We said, that's totally fine. It's, we'll take what we have. It's all good. And then Guru Maharaj comes out saying, let's go to the temple. And as we're getting ready to go, Mahavara Prabhu says, so we'll just drive by, right? And Guru Maharaj says, no, we're going to do a proper program. The devotees are waiting to hear about Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And Guru Maharaj came to our temple and he gave a beautiful katha on Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And it was just so wonderful to see. And the first thing he said when he came to our temple was he apologized that he wasn't there on the scheduled program. And like most of the devotees, they just teared up as soon as Guru Maharaj apologized, because here you have someone who was a foundation of our Hare Krishna movement, who has served Srila Prabhupada unconditionally for over 50 years, who has done so much for this movement for multiple generations to come. And here he is apologizing because he was unable to make it to a program because of his health. And it was just showing what Srila Prabhupada said, that every devotee should be a perfect gentleman and a lady. And here Guru Maharaj was showing us by example what that means. And it was just so wonderful to serve him and see him in that light. And we, just recently we were again in Dallas attending Sadhu Sangha retreat, which last year Guru Maharaj attended as well. And multiple devotees, we were just talking, and multiple God brothers and God sisters, and we were all just remembering last year how it was for us here to serve Guru Maharaj in Texas, in US, and just the association we got with him, and also to see Guru Maharaj associate with his God brothers. I think that last year at Sadhu Sangha retreat, especially, we were very fortunate to see. And it's something that I know growing up in Dubai, I never got to see that much. But in the US, especially now with Srila Prabhupada's disciples, many of them getting older and disappearing, it stresses the importance of that Sadhu Sangha, and for us to soak in the Vani, as my father was talking about, and taking every opportunity that we can to see how they associate with each other and what loving relationships between God brothers and God sisters look like. When His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj sat on the Vyasa to give Bhagavatam class last year at Sadhu Sangha, just to see how him and His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj were interacting with each other, the love that they had. When Guru Maharaj was again in Dallas last year, every one of his senior God brothers, in the Dumna Maharaj, Raghunath Maharaj, Sachinandan Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, they all personally went to see him. And then when Guru Maharaj came to Sadhu Sangha, he garlanded each of them and hugged them, and you could see the genuine love they have for each other. And it's a very important lesson for us, in our Krishna consciousness, that how we should be interacting, respecting, caring for each other, for all of our God brothers and God sisters and our spiritual cousins and our entire God family. So that was a very powerful moment for me that I wanted to share here. And in closing, another very powerful experience with Guru Maharaj, and I take it as a personal instruction from him as well. It was after my Brahmanical initiation in 2020. So this was January 2020, right before the pandemic. Guru Maharaj was here again in the US in Atlanta. And after he had given us the Gayatri mantra, there were just a few of us in the room as we were walking out. Guru Maharaj is going to his quarters to retire. And he just stopped, the wheelchair just stops. And then he asks the servant to turn him. And then they turn him. And Guru Maharaj looks at each of us directly in our eyes. and he says, "Now you're Brahmanas. I'm this, I'm giving you this responsibility um, to fulfill Srila Prabhupada's mission to me." And that was a very powerful thing that Guru Maharaj is empowering each and every one of us to help him fulfill his mission to Srila Prabhupada. And it's our responsibility. We are so fortunate to be connected to Srila Prabhupada and a parampara through him. And it really is our responsibility to continue with this movement, pass this on to all future generations, that we don't forget, despite of differences, despite of cultural differences, despite of where we may live. Our foundation needs to be the mode and mission of Srila Prabhupada by serving Guru Maharaj, and through serving Guru Maharaj and doing what pleases him the most. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhavi, for sharing your wonderful time.
Amma, I don't think your audio is not connected yet.
Hare Krishna. So now we have Gopi
Yes,
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I started with prayers. Anyways, I'm going to continue. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupathamaham vande Sri Gurun Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. As Prabhu told, we met Guru Maharaj for first time in 1994 in Doha, Qatar. When I saw Guru Maharaj, white body, tall, well built, and merciful eyes with wonderful smile on his lips, the emotions of awe and reverence flooded in my thoughts, my mind. That first meeting with Guru Maharaj left long-lasting impression on me. That time I did not know that my life is going to change for good by taking shelter of his lotus feet. Maharaj stayed in Doha for 2 days, but I could not interact with him much, as I was scared to talk to a sannyasi, and also I was not comfortable to talk to Guru Maharaj with my English. Guru Maharaj addressed the devotees, people who are very new for this Iskcon, and and he was very compassionately, very patiently, he is answering them, their doubts and all. That was the first spiritual lecture in English, that too by a foreigner. So I was struggling to follow, understand, and digest what Maharaj telling. In that process, I ended up with laughing after everyone laughs when Maharaj cracks jokes. So that was my language. So Mukam Karoti Vajalam. With the mercy of the Guru, now I'm able to speak little bit. And today I came in front of you. Guru Maharaj mercy, Krishna's mercy, I got a wonderful opportunity to serve him at my first meeting itself. Because that time congregation was very small. It's in beginning stage. There were not many people to serve Maharaj. And fortunately, Yatra leader Vaikutapati Prabhu's family and we were staying in the same building. So I could support Mataji in cooking, cleaning, arranging everything. Still, I feel that it was my Ajnata Sukriti, so that I could serve Maharaj without knowing how great he was. With 1 or 2 visits to Doha, Maharaj entered in our life and in thoughts, in our heart, and naturally into our altar. Yeah. When we moved to Dubai, it was very, what you can say, it was very, I got more opportunity. It was very smooth transformation. And we got serve Guru Maharaj frequently, not only Guru Maharaj, and many other Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And my senior god sisters used to give me opportunity to serve, to assist them, to serve Maharaj. In that process, many times I got praisings, sometimes chastising also from Guru Maharaj. In those days, Guru Maharaj used to honor prasadam nicely to satisfy his spiritual daughters as disciples. I want to share one nice episode. of the Guru Maharaj. It's connected with mango. Now it's mango season. As we know, Guru Maharaj used to love mangoes. So once in one of our God sister's house, after the program, we are serving Guru Maharaj. So Mataji, who is hosting, she's gave me 2 boxes of mangoes. So I was cutting and some Prabhus are serving. So we are, Guru Maharaj, the way he takes mango is a different way. This mango, we'll cut both sides and take the off and put the slit, and we should bend like that in like boat. He used to enjoy those things. And that time even Bhakti Kasra Maharaj was also there. So both Maharajas are eating mangoes and we are serving. We are serving, they are eating. It's like no, it was going continuously. And at one stage, mangoes are less and they're having, they're enjoying. It's like competition is going between both of them. So we were worried. Host Mataji also, she is worried. We sent some devotees to bring mangoes. It takes some time and we are wondering what to do. If they ask more mangoes, from where we will get. Now it is very easy, but 20, 25 years back, it was not that easy. We are not getting mangoes like now what we are getting. So maybe Guru Maharaj realized what we are facing through. So then they're satisfied. They said, okay, we don't want more mangoes. So this is one of the leelas of Guru Maharaj we cherish to remember. And so before my Diksha and after Diksha, continuously I was serving Guru Maharaj with love and devotion. But in one corner of my mind, I had a doubt that whether Guru Maharaj knows me, he recognized me, because I'm very insignificant in front of many senior disciples who are knowledgeable and talented. But Krishna's mercy and Guru Maharaj's mercy, I got answer for my doubt. One of the visits of Guru Maharaj, I expressed my inability to chant 16 rounds on Mala because I was having pain in the wrist due to carpal tunnel syndrome. So Guru Maharaj, with a lot of concern, he inquired what is the problem and why I'm facing this thing. All those things he inquired me, and he instructed me. Sometimes if I can chant on the clinker also to complete the rounds. In case because of the pain, if I missed any rounds, next immediate day I should finish the rounds. And he instructed me, he warned me, don't take this pain as excuse to skip the rounds. So this is the instruction I got from Guru Maharaj, and I was continuing to do my chanting, however I can do. But Guru Maharaj's compassion here, he didn't stop. After a few months, I visited Hyderabad, which is our mother town. Then I got to know that Guru Maharaj also is in town at the same time. So immediately I went to take darshan and blessings. So Guru Maharaj gave me blessings. Not only blessings, he gave me 2 iron balls, 2 metal balls. That also I want to share with you all. It's such a nice memory which I got from Guru Maharaj. These balls used by Guru Maharaj himself. Yeah, these are the balls. So he used to do like this when he has pain in the hand. He used to always rotate these balls. So he gave me these balls to help reduce the pain in my wrist. So I kept this balls still with me. It's more than 20 years, I think. Yeah. Sometimes we may feel that we were not getting Guru Maharaj's blessings or its recognition when we are not serving him directly, because most of my service was from background, serving, cooking and all. So, however, this incident gave me realization that our relation with our spiritual master is a different level of spirituality. So instead of anchoring to get his attention, we should continue to serve, continue to do our service silently as assigned. That was the lesson I understood. Guru Maharaj's blessings automatically come maybe in other ways, which we cannot imagine at all. For example, our ability to preach may become more effective, and our ability to serve other devotees may be effective. And we may get more and more chance to serve Guru Maharaj whatever capacity we have. So this is a realization I want to share with you, and rest of thing Prabhu will continue. Thanks for this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhavi, for
Hare
joining,
Krishna, Prabhu.
sharing the wonderful past tense and realization.
Hare Krishna, is it possible for me to just add one small thing? I remembered something after my mother shared. So she was mentioning how in the beginning that she would laugh a little after everybody laughed at Guru Maharaj's jokes. So I have a funny story on that regard. A few years back, Guru Maharaj had come here to Texas, and I have the reverse problem of my mother, that I can anticipate the joke and I will laugh before the joke is actually said. So if you attended classes, like I'm sure everyone here has attended, Guru Maharaj is very particular that everybody laughs at his jokes. Like it's important for him to make sure that his jokes are understood and people laugh at it. So when he was in Dallas, he started saying something, and I knew the direction that joke was going. So I started laughing, and I laughed really loudly. I started laughing just 1 minute before Guru Maharaj made the punchline, and then he just makes before he says the punchline, he just turns and I'm directly in his line of sight. He gives me this look like, what did you do? Why did you spoil this joke? And I felt so bad. And then 10 minutes later, he's about to make another joke, and I'm controlling myself not to laugh. And again, this time, Guru Maharaj is now prepared that there is this insolent person in the corner who's going to laugh before the joke. Before Guru Maharaj says the joke, he turns and looks at me and then turns aside and says the jokes. I knew I can't laugh this time. And my husband always teases me about that you can't laugh before the joke. So when my mother shared that she laughed after the joke, I think it is in the parampara of us to laugh either before or after the joke. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you very much. Speak again.
Prabhu, is there a time for question answer?
Yes, Prabhuji. So
I also wanted to share one important thing,
yes.
which I refer about Apta. So sometimes, since the topic of joke is coming, right? So yeah. So even though these great personalities are joking with us and trying to help us to become very close and intimate with them. So there was a similar situation was there in one day we were having a home program in one of our devotees' house. So Guru Maharaj was sitting in the middle of the hall. That was his Vyasasana, and both sides the devotees were sitting. And other side, on the left side of his wherever he's sitting was the altar of in that house. So the Aarti also silently was happening. And Guru Maharaj was, as usual, in good natured form, and he was joking, and he was giving a class, not only joking, but just generally giving a class, and people were listening. And the person who gave Aarti, so we have this, after we offered the water, we sprinkle on other people's head, right? So he was doing that process, and he was doing it very diligently. But very, very, very few drops of water when he was doing this, because it was a very crowded thing. And Guru Maharaj was giving the class. Very few drops of water fell on the Bhagavatam book that was there in front of Guru Maharaj. And within less than a second, his face completely turned like a Narsimha. His face became red and big, and he shouted, "Why are you sending me to hell?" We didn't understand what happened, why Guru Maharaj, in the midst of the class, suddenly shouted like that. And he turned to that person, and he was, completely mood has changed. Everybody got scared. And after only 1 second, 2 seconds, we realized that one small drop of water that fell, and that too unintentionally when somebody was sprinkling. I was shocked to see a person's consciousness level. And even though he was talking and taking a class, even that small, which apparently for me at that time was looking a very small, unintentional thing, but he was so conscious. A drop of water that comes on Bhagavatam for us, we all say that, Bhagavatam is a literary incarnation of God. But I realized Guru Maharaj really he has absorbed that realization. He lives with that realization that even such a small thing has caused him such a anxiety and angry.
No, that water used to wash his lotus feet.
Yeah,
That's
that
very
also.
good.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
very good,
fine. Yeah.
Kapil.
So yeah. So that's the greatness of these personalities. When we tend to see these kind of an incident and we are eyewitness to them, we realize that how great and how deep they are in the level of Krishna consciousness. We cannot be in that level of depth, but at least we are fortunate enough to see and to glorify such great personalities, and to be very, very fortunate. And we are getting connected to Parampara through these great personalities who are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So we may not be like them, but at least we can only glorify so that we can establish and continue that relationship with them. So because since the joke and other thing came, I just remembered that very incident, and then after a few minutes again he was back to normal. Usual thing. He just wanted to convey a very clear message that I'm sure whoever is there in this hall, even for today, after 25 years, would never ever forget that episode, that pastime and instruction and chastisement that Guru Maharaj has given all of us on that day. So I just thought of mentioning this. Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, devotees, for giving us this very valuable association. I hope we could share something, and thanks a lot for your great service. Continue to do the service. I keep joining now and then on this forum. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, Prabhu, would you like to take 2-3 questions if devotees have?
Yes, bro.
So, devotees, if you have any question, you can please raise your hand and you can ask. Requesting this restaurant family of Vaishnavas to come again and again to share this nectarian passing. So yeah, actually I requested Prabhuji, and like if because the 3 devotees and then we just have 1 hour time. So if we can have more time, if you can take 1 more session. So devotees are also requesting Prabhuji, possible. Please do take. And there is a question from Chitra Malini Mataji. Chitra Malini Mataji has raised her hand. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranams. Nice seeing you both. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept an humble obeisance.
Please accept mine too, Prabhu. Very nice listening to both of you. I haven't met your daughter before. I got a good opportunity to see her as well. I have been with Mataji and Prabhu for the last 25 years in Damodardesh, and great inspiration this couple is to all the newcomers who come into the yatra. And Prabhu and Mataji have been doing such wonderful service for Damodardesh. And thank you very much, Prabhu, for reminding me about this incident about Guru Maharaj's Pada Puja water being splashed by the devotee and how he got angry. That was my first instance where I saw Guru Maharaj get angry. I'd never seen Guru Maharaj get angry before that. And your expression, your description of Guru Maharaj was perfect. The way I had seen Guru Maharaj, I was there. It was in Panikat Prabhu's house. I remember this incident very well. And it really took me back so many years. Very nice realizations, Mataji and Prabhu. And very nice to see you both. I've come back to this JS after a real long time. I'm sure Prabhu must be upset with me. I've not been coming. I will try, Prabhu, to come in between and at least attend sometimes. Thank you very much. Very nice seeing you both. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranams.
Any devotee, any other devotee wants to ask anything? Okay, there's Amritmai Gopika Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम हरि बोल हरि बोल प्रभु जी माता जी मैं इतना ही बोलूंगी कि आप लोग बहुत बहुत भाग्यशाली हो कि आप सबने गुरु महाराज को इस तरह से, जब उनका ये मतलब हेल्थ खराब नहीं था उसके पहले, आप लोग इतना मतलब गुरु महाराज का एसोसिएशन प्राप्त किया है। तो आप सबकी वाणी सुनकर इतना अच्छा लगता है, इतना अच्छा लगता है, और दुख भी मिलता है कि मेरे को कभी ऐसे गुरु महाराज को देखने को नहीं मिला, क्योंकि मेरा इनिशिएशन 2012 में हुआ ना, तो उस टाइम गुरु महाराज का हेल्थ अच्छा बिल्कुल नहीं था। तो मन में बहुत ऐसे लगता है कि काश मैं भी मतलब थोड़ा पहले गुरु महाराज को मतलब मैं संपर्क में आई होती तो मुझे इतना सुंदर दर्शन मिलता गुरु महाराज का कीर्तन करते हुए। मस्त मतलब जो भी गुरु महाराज की जो भी एक्टिविटी कभी कभी हम लोग वीडियो में भी देखते हैं तो कितना अच्छा लगता है, आनंद मिलता है। लगता है कि काश मैं भी उस टाइम गुरु महाराज को ऐसे देख सकते, कितना आनंद मिलता, खुशी मिलती। तो आप सबके चरण में कोटि कोटि नमन है। आप सब लोग बहुत बहुत भाग्यशाली हो कि गुरु महाराज का इतना अच्छा एसोसिएशन आप सबको मिला है। हरि बोल। थैंक यू सो मच माता जी, प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। हरि बोल।
Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. So, one last, Kamal Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, and Mahasundari. I'm Kamala Gopi Mataji from Toronto. Thank you very much for your wonderful realization. Sorry, I'm in the hospital. I'm just come to chant for one Mataji who's leaving her body. So but I didn't want to miss Guru Maharaj's thing, and I found y'all are speaking. It was so wonderful to see all of you. And thank you very much for your realizations, Mataji, Prabhu, and Mahasundari. We miss you all. Please do come to Toronto. And thank you very much for your wonderful realization and your association. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Happy
This is a
definitely.
this is a direct proof of glorifying Guru Maharaj. Never ever I would have imagined, now neither my wife nor my daughter would have never ever imagined that we would see two of our Siksha Gurus in the program today. It's a Guru Maharaj's mercy. The moment you glorify him, something else will happen. And this is the blessing, right? We not only got blessing of all the audience, but especially with two people whom we regard as our Siksha Gurus, who have been part of our Krishna conscious journey, have come here to bless very, very surprisingly. Thanks a lot, Mataji. Thanks a lot.
Prabhuji, thank you.
Correct.
Y'all are my Siksha Gurus. Thank you very much. Yes, it is so wonderful, so wonderful. It is. Sorry, we have the mask and all. I'm in the hospital, but it is so nice, so nice. And thank you for glorifying the Mataji over here. Please bless her. And she's going to leave her body. We are just chanting for her, and she's hearing. Can you see her?
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare
Hare
Amma,
Krishna.
say
Rama.
Hare Krishna.
Ram
Say
Ram
Hare Krishna.
Ram
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Thank you,
Rama,
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
They're
Hare
all
Krishna,
chanting for you, Amma. They're chanting for you.
Hare
Say thank
Rama,
you.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Say loudly.
Hare Bol,
Say
Hare Bol,
loudly. Hare
Jai Narsimdev, Jai Narsimdev, Om Gambhiram Maharashtra,
Hare
Yeah, they're all devotees
Jai
from
Narsimdev, Jai
Dubai and from
Narsimdev,
all over the world. All over the world, devotees are chanting for you. Thank you.
Hari
You're
Bol,
so
Hari Bol,
fortunate,
Mataji, Hari
Amma. You're
Bol,
so fortunate. Thank you
Hari
very much,
Bol,
devotee. Thank you very much, God's
Hari
blessing.
Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you very much.
गुरु
Thank you very
महाराज
much.
देखो, गुरु महाराज कैसे देखो कृपा दर्शाते हैं भक्तों का, मतलब वो कहाँ पर है, हम सब
हाँ,
कहाँ पर है, तो
you
भी
know,
देखो कृपा मिला उनको। हरि
हाँ,
बोल,
you
हरि
know,
बोल।
last time when Guru Maharaj, when I was chanting for another devotee, at that time we, like this only, there was programs going on and Guru Maharaj was talking, and that time he blessed. Now y'all are blessing. That time he blessed another devotee. Like this only, he was talking, and I was also on the Zoom call. And Guru Maharaj, I told Guru Maharaj like this, I'm in the hospital. and this Mataji is sick and she's leaving her body. Then Guru Maharaj blessed her. And today is in a similar situation. Your great devotees are blessing her. Thank you very much, all of you,
Hari
especially
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Revathi Mataji and Mahasundari. Thank you very much. Yeah, and she's thanking all of you. And she said Hare Krishna to all of you. Say loudly, Amma, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If you have time, but there is one more hand raised by Amrita Padma Mataji. Is it or
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Very beautiful realizations by you all, Mataji, even Madhavi. Very nice realizations and nice to hear. And we are so glad to have your association. And we want to have more and more association from you all, Mataji, Prabhu. Please bless us more and more. And you all are my Shiksha Guru. You both are my Shiksha Gurus also. Please bless us so that we will continue more and more, and we want to serve more and more to Guru Maharaj and part of Yatra also. Thank you, Mataji. Dhanyavad.
okay. So yeah, I think there are no questions. And so we'd like to thank Prabhuji and Mataji and so for sharing, their wonderful realization, different pastimes, and especially the part that where Prabhuji was saying, like when we are reading some Shastra, we should see it as a Guru is telling us. So that's a very powerful thing that you shared with me, Prabhuji. So like when I'm reading the Shastra next time, so I'll definitely try to do that. So I need your blessings, Prabhuji, so that I can also do it in that particular mode that you kindly shared with us today. So thank you so much for that. And like in the end, you were sharing the pastime of some devotee sprinkling the the water, and that fell on Bhagavatam. So actually, last week when I was hearing about Mahavara Prabhu was talking about Guru Maharaj's health. So I was thinking in my mind, like, why we keep talking about health all the time. And as soon as I got that thought, Mahavara Prabhu he started saying that, so why we are talking about Guru Maharaj's health? Because even in those conditions, he's just thinking about services. He's only thinking about, Srila Prabhupada's mission, Srila Prabhupada's instructions. So, so I can see whatever the situation, Guru Maharaj is so much Guru conscious, he's Prabhupada conscious, Krishna conscious. So yeah, so thank you for sharing all these wonderful pastimes and teachings, learning, all of
Thank
us.
you, Prabhu. Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So we'd like to thank all of them by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ancha
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama
Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji Mataji, all Vaishnavas. Thank you so much, Hari Bol. Dhanyavad Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you for your Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhavi.